Hey, Facebook. I think my live's just starting on there. I'm not going live on Facebook in time. Okay, we're live on Facebook as well. So, hey everyone, TikTok and Facebook, I'm live on you both because I'm doing a little talk today about raw veganism and magic and how eating raw vegan food amplifies your magic and your psychic protection, and so why it's important to pay attention to what you eat, what you consume, and how you can use food as a spiritual tool and use food and the spiritual benefits you get from food to amplify your internal light, basically, to make you alkaline, balance your internal chemistry, heal yourself, ascend your light, ascend your kundalini, become a Christ on this plane, become a white mage. What more could you ask for? So I thought we'll share about raw veganism, maybe a little bit about my journey, because I did share about this in yesterday's call. But like I said earlier, the call didn't seem to record for some reason. I'm just gonna, on Facebook, it's saying that the stream is, hey Facebook friends, if you are hearing this okay, let me know, because it's telling me that the internet connection's not great. So could you let me know if it's okay? And then we'll do our opening prayer to start. So here's the prayer. Let's open this light up. And I'm going to ring this little bell. Little bell. God, angels, spirit guides, higher self, Mother Earth, and all that is good. We give blessings and thanks in honour for your work and serve. Might our rays always be filled with joy and sunshine. Might our evenings be calm, peaceful and safe. Might we all have true, unconditional love within ourselves and our lives. And might that love spread far and wide across all realms, times, layers, planes and versions. In honour, grace and gratitude, might we have a beautiful time together today, and might we all receive the light we need to grow into our most divine unfoldment and bring heaven on earth. God, angel, spirit guides, put an end to all suffering and to all wars on this plane. Put an end to all black magic and all negative agendas on this plane. And so it is done, Tom, and I seal this spell with the seal of God, the All, the One, the Light, Jesus Christ, Marie Major Line, and Mother Earth. So. Let's do this. Hi, Andrea on Facebook. Can you let me know that you can hear me okay, Andrea, and that it's not cutting off or anything? And hi to everyone on Tickers. So, yesterday I did a talk about my raw vegan journey and how it builds your rainbow body or your rainbow vessel, and I thought Andrew's done a love heart. I think we can hear me okay on Facebook as well. I thought I would just share a brief introduction about raw veganism for charging up your rainbow vessel. So in a lot of religion, you'll see a lot of the saints and the depictions of, say, Jesus. You'll see it even in Buddhism, you'll see it in Hinduism. All of these ascended masters and the saints, they had halos. They had these bright solar lights behind their heads in all the depictions. Sometimes you'll see them with rainbow, like a rainbow aura. The whole aura is just charged with rainbow light. And this is really showing the internal light that they've built up. And it's not everyone that has these halos around their heads. It's basically people who would do the work, do the spiritual work, build their internal light to the point where they would become an ascended enlightened master. They would become a solar deity. And so they would pass the solar initiation and they would become a sun or a Christ on this plane, and then they would get the halo, which shows their enlightenment, because the word enlightenment is in light in the mind. And when you have ascended your kundalini and you've built enough internal light within in you, so you've got all your chakras are balanced, they're charged with light, you've got a lot of light within you anyway. You abstain from orgasm, so you're not losing your light through that, or through too many negative thoughts or too many negative and emotional responses. You say consuming lightful foods, like eating raw vegan food that's filled with the light. Maybe you're charging up from nature, maybe you're charging up from the sun, from the luminaries, maybe you're holding crystals. You can build up your light in so many different ways, and raw veganism is just one of the ways. So when people would build up their light and they would do something to trigger their Kundalini ascension, if their vessel was clean enough, which means no animal products, it's clean in the sense that no parasites. So like you wash your hands and your food often, and you're clean in the sense that your energy is clean, your thoughts are clean, your mind is clean. Then when you send your Kundalini up to the top, the energy stays up in the crown. It ascends you consciously up to the crown, where you become a Christ consciousness on this plane, or you at least attain your Christ consciousness on this plane. Nature Heals is saying it's glitching. Can you, oh, sorry guys, can you let me know if it is glitching on TikTok for anyone else as well? Before I carry on, I like to get into flow, so I just so greeny to carry on, but I want to just wait to make sure that people can hear me okay. So we'll see. I'm just waiting for TikTok to let me know. I think that hi Ron. I think that TikTok isn't glitching, but if it does, let me know. So yes, okay, good. So when you attain your Christ consciousness, you also gain your rainbow body, is what they call it, a rainbow vessel. And you can build up your internal light, like I was saying, through collecting light in many different ways. And one of the ways is eating raw vegan food, because there is light within that food. What's interesting about raw vegan food is that it's the colours of the rainbow. So you can eat strawberries and stimulate the root chakra. You can eat green apples and stimulate the heart chakra. So you can eat the rainbow, and so you're eating these crystallizations of these different rays of light, and as you eat it, it stimulates the correct chakras and fills and charges you with light, and then you ascend quicker basically. So the more that you live what I call the light path, which I say, hey Lovely, the light path for me is living every single ray in a way that is consciously building your light and consciously no losing your light. So I call the light path grounding, which is grounding into the present moment, into your physical vessel. And also grounding to the earth, plugging yourself in to the energetic grid and nature. The second one is cleanse, so cleansing your colon, cleansing your energy, cleansing your system, cleansing your mind, cleansing your nervous system, cleansing your emotional vessels, like really just doing this work to kind of cleanse and get rid of any old that no longer serves. The next one is to grow, so to grow within your spiritual awareness, to grow and build your internal light, build your chi. So building your chi is through eating the raw vegan food, through abstaining from orgasm, through connecting to nature, connecting to the planets, the same ways I was just sharing earlier. Food is about eating alkaline and vegan, so you can go whole foods and vegan, but really the quickest way to build your internal light is to eat the raw foods and vegan. And then it's about spells, so speaking the light, being aware of the subconscious spells we cast upon ourselves. If you say things like good morning, to mourn is to be sad. Saying things like goodbye can be casting a spell on people to buy things, in like a consumerism spell. And there's obviously more sinister ones, like when we say, oh, that's wicked, that's so sick. In the UK, people say those things, and what they mean is that's really cool. And it's like, actually what you're casting is that's wicked, that's sick, which most people, if you said, oh, what does sick mean, they would say, oh, it means to be unwell. And that's the energy, that's that spell. So when you say, oh, that's sick, you're literally casting the spell on it to be unwell. Then it's about mind, so controlling your mind, being present in your mind, having lightful thoughts. And then it's about guides, so working with God, working with your angels, working with your spirit guides. And all of these things will help you on what I call the light path towards your enlightenment, towards being a white mage. Hi, John. Towards being in your power as a mage and ascending as quick as possible in on this plane, in this life, in this vessel and beyond. So hi Hunter, hi John, sister. So when we walk the light path, we can attain like almost like God level. It's not really God level stuff. When God first created humans, he created us, and God, she created us in God's image. So we were created to live forever. We weren't created to die. Our cells were created to constantly renew themselves. We were created to just be loving, be kind, be caring, speak the light, think the light. It wasn't within our nature to be horrible, to be jealous. It wasn't within our nature to eat animals or even kill for our food. It was our divine nature to live with nature and have a beautiful relationship with nature. Nature heals. Tell me which parts you missed and I'll speak it again just to be sure. So we were created that way, and we were created enlightened. We had Christ consciousness. When humans fell from grace, we lost our enlightenment, we lost our Christ consciousness, we descended. And so this light path is the way to get back there. And there's probably other ways as well. There's probably other ways, but I'm just sharing my way that it wasn't even my way. It's the same kind of teachings that Jesus and the Buddha taught, and it's this same path that I've walked, experienced, and now teaching as well. Facebook, tell me, can you hear me okay? Is it glitching at all? And TikTok, guys, if it is really badly glitching, if it's okay on Facebook, you could just hop over there. I think if it is that, I'm just waiting for confirmation, but no one said that it's glitching on Facebook yet. So we'll just see. Carrying, guys, on TikTok, if there was anything I was mid talking about that you're like, will you just say that again because I didn't hear, let me know and I will reshare it. And there's one option that I could do as well. Right, Facebook, what I'm going to try and do is go onto a different internet. Internally, the higher you ascend consciously. So when you ascend consciously, if you imagine because we're multidimensional beings, so if you imagine consciously, we can go anywhere, we can astral travel, even in our mind, we can go to the different higher planes and we can still be present within this vessel, just mentally, travel elsewhere. So the more light you hold within the vessel, it's like you can access even higher planes. It's like you can ascend higher even when you're in this vessel. And when you get access to the higher planes, you get access to the higher gods and energies within those planes. So if you think about it this way, your magic and the insights you can gain and the wisdom you can gain, the more you ascend higher, the more you can unlock higher wisdom, higher knowledge, and higher light within yourself. So the more you live a lifestyle that will build your internal light, the easier that's going to be for you. And raw veganism is filled with light, raw vegan food, because you don't cook the food. And it's when you cook the food that it kills the life force energy and the enzymes within the food. So when the plants are grown in the sun and on the earth, they're filled with the light and the energy of the sun and the earth. And then you can just consume that straight away. And the light of the sun is Christ consciousness, and the light of earth is pretty much Eden. The divine masculine and the divine feminine together as an energy, so you can consume that in the food. And then not only are you eating food that's of good nutritional value, but you're also eating food that's got light in, so it's going to serve you spiritually as well as physically. And it also serves you mentally, because food is mood. And when you eat well and you eat balanced, you eat food that doesn't disrupt your internal hormones and chemistry but actually sets you into balance, then you will feel more balanced emotionally, mentally, because all of your vessels, the emotional vessel, the mental vessel, your physical vessel, it's all interconnected. You can't affect one without affecting the other. Our chakra ports, they directly correspond to our main 7 glands within our system. So when you are eating well and you got balanced internal chemistry, you're not taking external hormones or chemicals from junk food or from animal products, you're eating the light food that's alkaline and balancing you within, then you're more in sync with how you're meant to naturally be. Your chakras are charged because you're filling yourself with light. And your glands work well because you're not overstimulating or understimulating them or disrupting them because of these external hormones or chemicals that you're eating through the food. And so on all levels it serves you, because you get to live life from your true state and your true self rather than from stress. And when you eat well and you feel good and you've got the light within yourself and you feel more connected to nature, connected to your higher self, to your guides, to God, then when challenges arise, which they just do, because it's such as life, even enlightened masters, life throws challenges at us. When challenges arrive, it's easier for you to deal with them in the best way possible, because your mind is focused and clear. It's not clouded with the consciousness of other animals that you've eaten. Your chakras are balanced, and when you're filled with light, because your aura is stronger, because you're more highly charged. I was saying in yesterday's call, whoever's in charge is in charge. If you're energetically charged up, if you're in a psychic fight or people are sending negative energy to you, if you've got a higher charge than them, their energy can't affect you. So the more you are filled with light, the more highly charged you are. There are negative beings on this plane that try and target the light beings. If you're here trying to really make a difference in the world, you stand out. So the way that the world is at the minute, those beings are here, and so you may notice people trying to send you negative black magic, psychic attacks, gang stalkers, electronic weapons being targeting you. And what happens is when people are out of balance and they've got a weak aura, these spells can stick to them easier. And so then the spell like attaches to their aura. Maybe there's a hole in the aura because they haven't balanced themselves and healed themselves. The negative energy can come in. These negative energies can start implanting thoughts in the mind, and people who don't know any different believe those thoughts are their own thoughts and could even act them out. Or all they need to do is just send an energy weapon or send a demon that's an anger demon. And if you're out of balance because you're eating junk food and you feel low and depressed because you've not got the correct neurochemistry within to feel good, and just to feel good, sober and normal, then all it takes is a little bit of angry energy for you to flip out, and it ruins your life. Stress, It ruins your life, and stress is actually one of the biggest causes of death. Is stress, and stress can be an internal job through what you eat and traumas and things like that, and it can be an external job from your environment that you're in. So it's important we pay attention to all of these aspects that could be causing us stress and deal with them and heal them in the best way. And raw vegan for me has been such a powerful way of doing it because it's the quickest way and it's plugging us back into our true divine nature as quick as possible. I think I was just going to read a comment that I saw. Um, Rapture said, "What about the poison they are spraying us with? It's in our soil and food, etc." Yeah, it's it's one of those things where it's like you just have to do your best because they poison everywhere and everything. I've even heard the lettuce, they're trying to inject lettuce with vaccines and stuff, and it's just like it's almost like there's in an ideal world we would be have grown our own fruit trees and we would not have the skies sprayed with chemicals and we'd be able to grow food and it's all healthy and well. All we can do really is the best we can do in the situation we're in until we can really shift and change this place. And if you want to work behind the scenes, learn magic, learn how to take out the night from the comfort of your own home, learn what you can do spell wise. And I'm not saying like you need to like conjure up spirits and go and stand in a circle at night time in the dark or whatever. It's like, no, spell casting can literally just be saying with your words, because our words are so powerful, just commanding God, get rid of all black mage on this plane, get rid of all black magic, delete all black magic, delete all the negative agendas, put an end to all wars. You just say this stuff. This is powerful enough. If you just say spells like that as often as you can, this is powerful stuff. But I would always command God to do it. So I wouldn't, if I was just starting out, I wouldn't be saying, I wouldn't be casting spells on people myself. I would say, God, deal with them all. God, get rid of the black magic. God, get rid of all the evil and negative agendas. So you're commanding God to do it. God and the angels, all of the higher beings, they want to serve us and they're willing and ready to help us, but we do have an element of free will where they can't just interfere. It's kind of like humanity gets to choose what we want to put up with and what we want to see on this plane. But if we say to God and the angels, God, angels, do this for us, protect us, stop all wars, protect all those who have just been affected by the earthquake, whatever it is, when we command them to do that, they can do that and they want to do that. They're waiting for us to command them because we've given them permission, basically. The other reason why I would command God to do it is because you don't want the karma of you doing it. If it was that you accidentally targeted someone that you shouldn't have targeted, or if for some reason it wasn't your responsibility or your call to make that judgment and cast that spell, you could just say, God, do this, do that, and God will have this final say. God will decide whether that is for the light or for the night, what you're telling him to do. So we are talking about raw vegan food, and really this particular talk was going to be about raw vegan food and psychic protection, really, because what you will find is when you're on the light path, when you're just waking up spiritually, when you're trying to be your highest and best self, if you're trying to eat raw, if you're trying to do fasting, whatever you try to do in your life, if it is you trying to level up, Alec, thank you for the butterfly. If you're trying to level up in your game, people always have opinions, and so you do have to learn how to protect yourself psychically. So what you might find is you get some people who are your friend, they just have their own opinions about what you're doing, and it's not that they want you to fail necessarily, it's more just that they think it would be hard what you're doing. So then they put that energy on you. So let's say, for example, you're trying to fast. I'm doing a 3-day fast. If you tell your friends, oh, I'm not going to come out, I'm trying to fast, they might think, God, bet they're starving. I bet that's so hard to fast. Like, bet they're absolutely starving. Bet they can't wait to start eating food again. Next minute, you're thinking, why am I like craving food? Why do I want food? Because I've done 3 day fast loads and I'm never hungry at this stage. Why am I hungry now? It's because people have put that energy and that conditioning on your fast. You might get it where people subconsciously do want you to fail. Some people, you just do get people that bitch about you in life, and they're like those secret haters. So it might be that you have friends or family who will always talk about each other behind the back, and again casting black magic on you through their words and also their emotions, their beliefs, their magic. And sometimes it can even be your own self that can be having these subconscious beliefs and thoughts that can hold you back, and you can struggle to get past your own self. But mostly it seems to be that other people are the ones to put the negative energy on you. You can get people that put good energy on you as well. But this is why I think people say you want to hang out with people that are already doing what you want to do, or they're already achieving what you want to achieve. Because if you hang out with someone that does 7 ray fasts and you're doing a 3 ray one, then when you tell them, oh, I'm doing a 3 ray, they'll go, oh, amazing. You're going to get there. You'll do 7 soon. Like, it's really like giving you tips and hints. They're putting a good energy on you. They're going to help you. We're all co-creators, so when we can either put good energy or bad energy on people, places and things, and it does make a difference. We collectively create what we see on this plane. So you can be someone that blesses people with good, or you can be someone that casts black magic, and it's as simple as that. If you're being negative, you're casting black magic. You don't have to work with negative spirits. You're already bringing them in with your energy and your emotions and your thoughts and your words. The truth is, though, because we've all been there in the past, before you wake up, how many times can I count that I would speak negatively about people, places, or things before I became aware and became even conscious enough to realise why I was doing it, which is most of the time your own insecurities is the only really the reason why you would think or talk negatively of other people. So it's not to like hating yourself or shame yourself if you have spoke negatively about people, places or things, but there is a way to delete it. And there's a way to delete the negative energy on your life that other people have put on you as well. And when you eat raw food, what it does is it brings you a mental clarity that allows you to start to cut through the illusions and see the truth of situations. And it allows you to see from a higher perspective because you're accessing those higher planes mentally. You can hear your guidance clearer. Your vessel is more sensitive energetically, so you could even maybe feel the psychic attacks. And then when you speak your spells to get rid of the bad energy on you, because you're more highly charged, it's easier for you to delete the spells. If someone is more highly charged than you and they put a spell on you, it would take more for you to delete that. You need to be the one that's more in charge energetically, and that's due to how much light you have. Some people can charge themselves up off drugs. So people can, there's certain drugs that are really charging and stimulating, like say cocaine, MDMA. Some have positive effects and some have more negative effects, and it depends on your vessel as well and how clean you are. If you take MDMA when you're a vegan, especially if you're a raw vegan, you will have a godly experience. If you take cocaine when you're vegan, maybe you'll have a godly experience. I haven't tried it since I've been vegan. But what happens is some people get addicted to these substances, but their energy is on a lower plane because they aren't balanced, they aren't awoken spiritually, they haven't done the work, they've got loads of bad energy in them, traumas, they may have demons or entities attached to them, they're eating out of balance, they've got animal consciousness in their system because they're eating like beef and things like that. So they end up getting all of this mix of all these different energies and entities and attachments that are of a lower vibration. And then when they take a substance that charges them up, that amplifies all of that bad energy. And this is why you will see people like drunk and getting really aggressive, and they're like really highly charged because of the drug that they've taken. And then when they are highly charged but they've got the bad energy, then it's even worse when they're speaking negatively. And you'll notice that what society does, or at least what the black mages do, and when I say the word black, by the way, black and white is a spiritual term only. It's not to, it's no humans are black and white, and it's actually a negative spell to call anyone the word black, because the word black is to be lack. So that's casting a spell to take people's power away if you call people black. And the word white could be known as a spell to say with light. And so any tone of coloured skin people can cast black magic or white magic. They can be lacking in light, or they can be with light. So those two words should never be used for human, because unless we're talking about on a spiritual soul level, whether a soul is with the light or whether a soul is lacking in light, that's the only time we should be using those terms. So the word black magic is basically saying to be casting magic without light. So what happens is when people, the way that when I say the black mages, these dark mages, or at least I cancel and delete that spell dark, because it's not even the dark, it's the mages that don't work with the light, they work with the night. They are, say, like these groups like the Satanists, you get different groups like warlocks, and there's loads of like groups who are people who work with black magic without the light. And there's also like army bases that serve the night, and also gang stalk people with electromagnetic weapons, and they target people. They have synthetic telepathy, and they'll send energy weapons, attack people, put thoughts in their head. They can put memories in your head. They can make you act certain ways and think certain ways, put emotions in your field, and and you have to be aware of it, otherwise people can genuinely think it's their own thoughts. And what happens is people who aren't aware, people who are drugged up but are have got all those entities, have got all that bad energy, these are people who aren't even consciously aware of magic. They're just normal everyday people, but they've had traumas and they're addicted to drugs. This is what society builds in people. Well, this is what the black mages want. They want your everyday person getting addicted to drugs, eating junk food, having an out of balance internal chemistry, going out to the club, having sex with everyone, wasting all their life force energy, talking negatively about people, and casting all that black magic onto this plane. And they want people eating animal products, which is an animal black magic sacrifice on the ley lines in the slaughterhouses, casting that energy in the ley lines across the land. And they want women to feel powerless, to feel ugly, to feel worthless. They want women to be filled with negative energy as well, because women amplify magic and light by 9. So if us women were in our full power and our light, and we were filled with positive affirmations and good energy, we'd be amplifying that by 9. But they want us to be weak, low, feel no valuable, and then we want to just like sleep with the first man that gives us a bit of a feel good feeling, but that person's not good, and then we end up amplifying the energy that they've given us by 9. It's like this big cycle of trying to take everyone out their power and trying to make everyone cast black magic on each other. And that's how the black mages have taken over us, is through our ignorance and our traumas and our addictions to substances, to junk food, to sexual pleasures. And when you're so out of balance and you've got all of those energies in you, all the gang stalkers have to do is put a thought in your head, put an anger in your field, put a little thought in your head, that person over there just looked at you funny, and then next minute people are doing shit that a normal person wouldn't do. The stuff you see on the news, the attacks that you see, like terrorist attacks, anything you see that's negative on the news, I can guarantee you it's a gang stalker's done it. A gang stalker has put that energy, mind control, hacked someone and made them do it. And it's not to say that the person that did it, thanks for the butterfly, Alec, it's not to say that that's an excuse, but this is why I'm saying we need to be aware of our own energy and take our power back and not allow for this, because otherwise people are actually getting their mind hacked where they're doing stuff that they wouldn't normally do and they might not even remember they've done it. Like that guy who tried to shoot Donald Trump at the rally, I believe he was mind hacked and they killed him. And luckily now, no one, he can't say anything because he's dead. And I'm not laughing. I'm just saying like this is, it's like it's something that I think people may not realize is going on. Is this mind hacking technology? We were talking about raw vegan food, but eating raw vegan will help you balance. It'll help you get your mind right to be aware of this stuff. And I also advise people to get sober as well, because the more sober you are, the more clear-minded you are, so it's going to be easier for you to think straight and act accordingly and keep your wits about you through these times, through these changing times. But I see the future as so positive. I've got so much, like, not even just faith and hope, but I absolutely, yes, 1,000% that the next few years might just be, it might seem chaotic on the external, but it's like the most beautiful earth is on the way. It's so it's all positive really, but while we're in the transition period, if you want to protect yourself and make sure you're good, it's good to just really take into consideration what you're consuming on the news, on your socials, in your mouth, like what food you're eating, what drink you're eating. Are you having tap water still? Because that's got chemicals and hormones in. uh, go go vegan, start eating better, stop drinking alcohol, stop smoking, like really just put your health first. And because your health of your vessel is your health of your mind, it's your health of your emotions, it's the health of everything. And what's even better after all of that is the fact that it turns on your psychic gifts. So it's like you can then start to actually commune with your angels. You can start to receive your guidance so much more clearly. You can feel finally supported by the cosmos because you know that your angels and your team's right there, because you can actually sense them and feel them. And for so long in my path, before I before I cleaned my vessel to the point where I could actually feel the energy and start to commune with my angels, I felt very, very isolated, to be honest. Um, I felt very isolated, and even though I had people around me, it was like a spiritual isolation. Like I felt that, like, even though there was people in my physical life, I felt like no one was really supporting me or looking after me in the spiritual. Like I didn't matter. Like I was worthless. Like all of these things, these traumas, these energies um that you can heal. And even when I started raw, I had an eating disorder where I was I just wasn't eating enough because I was trying to stay I was trying to stay skinny, but the real reason was because I felt I didn't have any like self-worth or value, so I just felt like really ugly. I felt like no one wanted me, like really unwanted. And so I thought, I can't change my face. But what I can do to try and gain some kind of control is to just control how I eat, control what I eat, and like basically get really skinny where at least my body looked like a model, even if my face didn't. And I thought that hopefully being really skinny could compensate for my ugliness. That's how I felt. And really, when we feel these ways about ourselves, it's not even that you are like ugly or that your body is fat or anything like that. It's all down to a false perception of yourself because you aren't in love. Like your vessel, love is an energy. So you can either be in the energy of love, and this means unconditional love of yourself. This means full self-acceptance. Like it doesn't mean that you suddenly think you're beautiful and that your body's amazing. That's not what true self-love is. That's not what true unconditional love is. True unconditional love and self-love is saying, I've got a vessel that works every single way to keep me alive. I've got cells in my vessel. Every time I eat food, every time I would drink alcohol, my whole vessel will be working towards getting rid of the toxins and trying to make sure I'm safe and well. I had a whole a universe, an ecosystem within me that was always trying to look after me and show me true love. And I didn't, my mind or probably the negative entities that had attached to my mind or managed to worm their way in because my aura was weak, were telling me you're ugly, all of these horrible negative things about yourself, trying to make me turn on myself and hate and reject myself. And it's like true unconditional love is saying, my vessel loves me and I'm going to love my vessel back. So I'm going to treat my vessel with respect, with love. I'm going to give it the best food, the best fuel. I'm going to make sure that it gets everything it needs and I'm going to love it the same way it loves me. And then when you eat that way, it's like it clears your mind and it gets rid of the demons and the negative energies that was putting these stupid thoughts in your head. And you get this like alignment again. You feel like, wow, like I said, nothing's changed. It's not like suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, can't believe I ever thought I was ugly because I'm like amazing. It's like no, it's like a different level of self-respect where you go, I'm just like so beautiful because that's just an energy of love and I just it when you eat raw food, it's like you just feel beautiful because that's just the energy that you have within. Because look at how beautiful nature is. If you just look outside, look at fruits, look at the flowers, look at the plants, look how beautiful that is, and that's the energy you're eating. So it doesn't change you. But when you embody that energy within, you see the beauty without, you see the beauty externally, and then you see the beauty in all things, and it's not physical, it's a spiritual, it's a spiritual beauty. You see it in everything around you. You see it in the earth, you see it in the future, you see it in, you just start to see the good. When you feel good within, you start to see and feel the good without. I'm just looking actually because I've been missing all your comments, guys. The comments weren't scrolling down at all, so I was just sat there thinking no one's commenting but just talking away to myself. So sorry if I've missed your comment. I'm going to read them now, but if you wanted to just type it again, feel free. Amy said, do I eat oats? So I don't, but I would. If I was eating cooked food, I would 1000% eat oats because I feel like as a vegan, especially if you're doing whole foods, which I would advise, oats are probably such a great option for breakfasts and for lunches and things like that. So I would 1000% eat oats if I was not on the raw. I don't eat them on raw because I don't believe that they are raw. You might be able to get raw oats or soak them in a certain way, but I haven't discovered them yet. Zoe Ray says, you love my music. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I've found a new light for it again, like a new love for it, because I've just, it went as a side quest for quite some time of music, and I kind of I got to this place where I felt like I felt like I had to give it up for some reason. But it's like more recently I've been doing this like healing work, and it's like kind of God saying you do know that you can have your music and you can do your spiritual life and it can all be part of your gifts that you can share with people. So it's like I've got that new lease of life for it again, which is good. So can I just check the comments as well? I think I've just invited Charmaine Angels to join the live. I didn't mean to. Sorry to invite you randomly. I just pressed it by accident. I'm not sure how to not do that. So someone said, I've been battling with a deep depression this whole year, lots of dark dreams and intense thoughts. How can I help myself during this? Feels like there's no way out at times. The main things I'd do, and you might already be doing some of these. The main thing, first thing is I would be saying to God, like I'd be connecting to God every single day and asking God for help with it and saying, God, help me find a way out of this. Make a way when there isn't a way. I need your help. Archangel Michael, call upon the angels. I need your help, because sometimes we need to actually ask them for help and actually allow them to. The other thing is, psychic protection. So like wearing jewelry like crystal jewelry, precious metals, wearing colours like red or gold, which could be like yellow. These are masculine colours, so they'll charge your field more with a masculine light, which is going to be stronger for your psychic protection. The other thing is, though, something that came to me more recently is that sometimes the dreams that we have can be sometimes they can be like negative infiltrations where we just need to protect and shield ourselves more. Put frequency tones on as well. When you have these tones on, it stops and blocks any of these negative infiltrations. But what I found is the past 6 years I've been having, I used to have nightmares that were like horror movie style nightmares. And what I found out after I did a meditation, I went up to God and I basically found out that I had energetic cords, emotional cords to versions of myself that was in hellish, experiences. When sometimes we see things in dreams, it can be like a lifetime where we were killed, or a lifetime where we were a slave, or where our souls got stuck in a lower astral plane. And sometimes we visit these places because our soul's visiting the version of ourself that's still down there that needs pulling out. So you can do soul work, where we can go up to God, call upon all those versions of self, pull them all out of those places, fill them with light, give them what they need, help them ascend back up to God so that they don't have to stay stuck in those places anymore, and then disconnect the cords from you so that you're not visiting those places anymore, and you've basically pulled those aspects of yourself up out of those places. I had it. One particular one was, I think that like in a lifetime I'd been a healer, and I'd got tortured for being a healer, and they told me that I'm evil and that I'm going to hell. And I don't know if they killed me when they was torturing me, but I did actually go to, when I passed on, I believed them when they said I was evil and I was going to hell, because I was like, they were saying like, if where's your God now, where is God, like, I'm being tortured, why isn't God helping you in this moment? And at that time I was like, why, like thinking, why isn't he? And they were telling me, you're evil, you're going to hell. So then I thought, maybe I am, if they're torturing me in this way. When I passed over, if you're in trauma, if you've got bad energy and you're in this mindset, and what you believe is going to happen to you, if you're in the astral plane, you can very quickly manifest this around yourself mentally. So people who believe they go to heaven when they die, they often do, because their belief takes them there. If you believe you're going to hell, your belief can take you there. And I found myself trapped in astral realms, lower ones, where I believed I was a bad person or a bad soul and I was being tortured in hell. And so I was in those places and I had to go and pull myself out of them. Um, so since doing that work, and what I've found is that we can have different aspects of ourselves in loads of different places all at the same time. So even if you do it once, 6 months later, it's good to just do it again, because we can continue to, we just don't know, like our different versions of ourselves can be asleep still, or have been trapped somewhere from a previous life or anything. And so we can continue to do this work and continue to keep pulling those versions of ourselves up until all versions of self are back integrated with God. We're all ascending back up again. You said you understand, thank you very much. A couple of years ago you owned a Moldavite, did rituals you regret. Yeah, I would just, if you ask God, and I would also say to God, like, God, Jesus, like, can like forgive me for the stuff I did, because the thing is, they, when you ask them for forgiveness, it's showing that you want to let the guilt go. If you don't want to face it, then you can hold on to this guilt and regret, and it's too painful to face, or to actually, like, you're scared to go to God because you think he's going to punish you, which he won't. So so people can hold on to it and they can shy away and they don't want to go to God or the angels because they think that they're in trouble, kind of thing, from what they've done in the past. But God and the angels and Jesus forgives all. So it's like we ask for that forgiveness. It allows us to let go of the guilt we were holding on to, because it's the guilt we hold on to ourselves that keeps us trapped in these places and holds us down on an energetic level. When we can forgive ourselves and ask for forgiveness from God and Jesus, that allows us to feel like we have been forgiven on all levels. And then it's like now we can actually let it go, and we can build a relationship with God and Jesus, and we can learn again that God and Jesus do love us. Because I think the only reason we ever stray away from God and Jesus is because we start to feel like they don't love us or they don't care about us, but it's not true. So you said, what if you've had badness in your heart before in the past? You've had bad intentions, you feel stained. This is exactly what God and Jesus and the angels do. Is as long as you allow them in, they'll just cleanse, clean, and heal it. I would listen to, there's a really great audio book called A Course in Miracles. It's on YouTube, and it helped me so much let go of my past and any guilt that I had from the past, because it basically teaches that we're in this time in life where we're all ascending back up to heaven on earth and God again. As humanity, we've had enough of like messing around down on like the lower planes, and God and Jesus and everyone wants us to return back up to heaven. The only way we can do that is when we let go of the regret, of the guilt, of the pain that we've been holding on to, because that's the only thing that's keeping us here still. So even if you feel like you've done the worst, when you ask for forgiveness and then say, right, that's it, the past's done. You can't change the past, but you can let it go, and it's done. What it says in A Course of Miracles um, is that because we're in an illusionary world, it's like when you're in dream time. So if in a dream you do something negative, then you wake up and you realize it was a dream, and then you go, it wasn't real, thank God. So what A Course in Miracles is saying is that this is what this reality is like. We believe all the stuff we've done. Amy's saying you're buying it. I've just found it free on YouTube. There's an audio book, and you can. It's really long. I've still not finished it, but it really helps you understand that all of this is an illusion, and it feels very real because we're on the earth plane. And so it really does feel like painful, the pain that we experience, the guilt. It feels very real, but none of it is true, because none of it is actually the truth of what we are, which is light in heaven with God. And all of this down on this earth plane, it's all just been one grand illusion that needs correcting. It's like having a wrong thought. You just need to correct it, cancel and delete it, and then correct yourself. So rather than punishing yourself, I've had a wrong thought, so now I have to punish myself because I'm evil. That's not what God's asking for. God's saying, you had a wrong thought, well, cancel and delete it and do differently from now on. That's it. That's all you need to do, is just change. And so that's what it's saying, is all you have to do is ask for the forgiveness, so only so that you can let it go yourself and you feel like you have had that forgiveness and have been cleansed. And then you just have to fully trust that God has forgiven you, that you are all good. And let's just draw a line under the sand and let's just get everyone home now, because that's really all that God's wanting from us, is for us all to just go home now, go back up to heaven. Yeah, Timra, I'm glad. Angelic saying life is a dream. Yeah, so it's interesting you saying it all, because this is just all the same stuff I've been dealing with dealing with like the past 6 months. So I feel like it could be that it's just the changes we're going through. It's just kind of helping everyone sift out our past and anything that we're still holding on to that just doesn't serve us anymore for where we're going. It's helping us get rid of it and cleanse and clean it, so we can finally just let go and go and ascend upwards and move on and start to just radiate the truth. It's almost like the negative is just a distortion that clouds our judgment and makes us believe in like these false illusions. But once we clear ourselves and get back aligned with the truth of who we are and what we are, then yes, angelic light says we start to live heaven on earth. So I am doing I've got a course. It's called Return to Eden, and it's on my website, The Great Light Garden, and it's basically eating raw vegan food for 7 septenaries, which means 7 weeks basically. So it's a 7 week program or a 7 septenary program. We're eating fully raw vegan, we're practicing building our light, practicing abstaining from orgasm, learning how to charge up from the sun, learning how to protect ourselves from black magic, learning how to balance our internal chemistry, really how to align ourselves with our highest truth and cleanse and clean our vessel and get back plugged into on the light path, I call it. So really on our way back to Eden, so that our trajectory is right. I'm stood, I'm doing the work, I'm putting in the work, I'm doing the healing, and I'm on my way to Eden basically. So that starts on the 7th of September. If you guys felt called to join, feel free to have a look. What I'm doing as well is on the Great Light Garden website, you can create an account and you'll get 55 seeds. So these seeds, they're spiritual seeds, etheric seeds. They basically equate to 10 seeds is £1. So you'll just get £5.50 to spend on the website. And if you have joined the live, then if you type a message to me on the website with the word coconut, I'll send you another 111 seeds. So you'll have, I think it's like £16.60 to spend on the site. And I'm also doing one-on-one calls. So really the one-on-one calls can either be if you want to live the light path, like you want to go raw vegan, you want to look at how you can like overcome your addictions or start eating better or start thinking better, whatever it is you want help on your spiritual journey. I'm doing one-on-one sessions. If you don't really want to go and do a group course and it's like 7 weeks eating raw, we can just do a one-on-one session. And I do also do the soul work of like kind of going within, seeing where these loops are coming from, seeing where these pains are coming from, asking your angels for guidance, and kind of doing the healing on an energetic soul level with God, to work on the past life stuff, because there's so much past life stuff. There's ancestral stuff that can be stopping us and blocking us, and also like energy clearing and healing as well. So that's what I'm doing on the Great Light Garden at the minute. Amy was saying, I think someone said, Angelic Light said you had a near-death experience and it led you to a plant-based diet too. There's so many people that I see online sharing about how the more that they are walking the spiritual path, the more they just don't really want to eat meat anymore. It's like the vessel knows. The vessel just starts to reject stuff that it knows isn't of the right frequency for it anymore. And Amy says, after getting over depression and accidental astral travel, it led you right into spirituality. Nature Heal said, you're so greeny to go raw. Angelic Light says, energy feels lighter when you eat fruits and vegetables. 1000%. The reason why I'm doing the Return to Eden program is because the lifestyle that we'll be living for the 7 septenaries. Hi, Louisa. It's like a high intensive, like highly transformational one. So if you were to just gradually integrate it into your life, it'll still have benefits. But if you really want to be like, right, how much can I shift in 7 septenaries? How much can I heal? How much can I activate my gifts in just 7 septenaries of your whole life? We can do that on the Return to Eden course. And it's like, it might be hard, because it's like if you're really changing your lifestyle like that, it's not necessarily going to be easy, but we're doing it together. We've got group calls, and even though it might be difficult, it's 7 septenaries of your whole life. You do it, you see the transformation, you get that experience, you live the experience, and then you can go back to your old life. But at least you've experienced it. You can understand what it feels like. You can understand the level you can get to just from changing your lifestyle like that. Angelic Light said you get more spiritual downloads when you purify your heart and change your diet. Exactly. So the one-on-one sessions and the Return to Eden program, it's all on my website, The Great Light Garden. If you go on my profile, it's in the links in there. And if you set up an account, you'll get some seeds, which means you'll get a little bit of money to spend on there as well. So yeah, I'm really excited because the Return to Eden course, it starts on a full moon as well, and it's the 7/7 portal, the true 7/7 portal, because it's the 7th of September. September means 7. Oct is 8. October. Nov is 9 for November. Dec is 10 for December. So really, September is the true 7th month. Hi, Misha. Which means that the 7th of September, when we do the Return to Eden program, is the official 7/7 portal. And I didn't even plan it. I was just like trying to suss out when to do it, and I was just intuitively thinking, right, I'm going to start on a sun ray. I'm going to do it in September, possibly the first sun ray of September. So I was like, let's do it then. And then it turns out to be the 7/7 portal and on a full moon. And I was like, this makes sense. I don't have a true calendar yet, but I am planning on putting one together. And I do have a moon calendar on my website, Orazikara website. The moon calendar shows you when the moon is in your star sign, and that's important when you are looking at building your internal light, because every time the moon's in your star sign, you get a your brain basically releases a certain oil, and you also get a spiritual seed from the heavens. And basically what happens within your vessel is, if you eat well enough, then this particular seed gets blessed, or it gets anointed or activated by the oil within your vessel, and if you ascend it up to the crown, you become an enlightened master. It's an opportunity to attain your Christ consciousness. The reason why everyone's not ascended masters is because you can destroy the oil before it has chance to activate the seed, and you destroy the oil if your vessel is too acidic, which means if you're eating animal products, if you're drinking alcohol, anything that's acidic, it will destroy the oil before it has chance to germinate this seed and help you become a Christ. So really, this is why alkaline's important, and living a lifestyle that will build enough internal light so you can do that. Louisa, you see my videos on Facebook? Yes, I'm glad you're here too. C. Ramkis says, full humility and dependence on God will lead you to truth. Please don't bow or worship to false gods. Seek. Yeah, find your own connection to God and to the angels and guides. Don't trust organised religion. Find your own connection. Get to know God, the true God, for yourself. That's what I would say. So, with that, I'm going to say our closing prayer and thank everyone for being here with me today. It's been a blessing. If you do create an account on the Great Light Garden website, make sure you send a message on. When you go on the website, there's like a little chat button. Make sure you type in the chat coconut so that I can definitely send you the extra seeds, because otherwise I won't know that you've been on the live. So type coconut and then I'll know you've been on the live, and I'll give you some extra seeds on that website. So let's say our closing prayer. Here we go. God, angels, spirit guides, higher self, Mother Earth, and all that is good, we give blessings and thanks in honour for your work and serve. Might our rays always be filled with joy and sunshine. Might our evenings be calm, peaceful, and safe. Might we all have true, divine, unconditional love within ourselves and our lives. And might the light spread far and wide across all realms, times, layers, planes, and versions. Ta for this beautiful time spent together today. And might we always receive all we need to grow into our most divine unfoldments and bring heaven on earth. God, angels, spirit guides, put an end to all suffering, put an end to all evil agendas and all negative on this plane, put an end to all wars. Make sure all the good lights have enough food, have shelter, have safety, have love, have joy, have all that they need to have an abundant, blissful life. And delete all black magic on the good lights and help them connect back to God and Source so that they can have their own divine connection and understand truth and love and wisdom and help plant Eden back onto this plane. And so it is done, Atom, and I seal this spell with God, the All, the One, the Light, Jesus Christ, Marie Major Line, and Mother Earth. Misha, I'm not sure when I'm back, but I have recorded this on my Facebook. Hopefully it's all stayed. So you can hopefully watch the whole thing back there. And I did go live yesterday, and it was like an hour live, and TikTok won't allow me to download it, but I'm going to still try. So hopefully I can download that, and you'll be able to see yesterday's live as well and get all the good stuff. Catherine! Oh my goodness. Hey guys, right, I am actually going, but sending you all so much love and glad to have even caught some of you just for a small moment. Love you all so much. See you soon. Ta-ra. Bye Facebook. Love you.